Down. Get down. That's fine. Hands. Mano, hey. Cállate la boca.
If you think there's a small chance that you or your loved one could ever be detained by ICE, I want to first by saying this. I truly hope you never have to experience this and that you never need this information. But if that day comes, making a plan today could save your family weeks of fear, confusion, chaos, and unnecessary suffering. When my husband was suddenly detained by ICE, our lives changed in a second. And just that happening was traumatizing and extremely stressful. Nothing prepares you for that moment. And not having a plan made it so much worse. And I don't want this to happen to you. Now, looking back, there are things I wish we had done ahead of time that would have made those painful days less stressful. So friends, please don't wait until you or your family member is detained to decide what you will do next or how you and them will survive. I know no one wants to talk about this, and these conversations are not easy, but having a plan will be very helpful in an already very stressful situation. So today, I'm going to share with you things that you can do to protect yourself and your family in case you are unfortunately detained by ICE. So let's get into this. First, choose an emergency contact and make sure they and your loved ones know your A number or your alien number. It's your unique number that identifies you that begins with an A, and it's usually 9 digits and sometimes 8 digits long. It's the very first thing a new lawyer will ask you for, and it's the thing that the detention center will ask you for if you call them, and it's how you will find and keep track of their location using the ICE locator. Second, speak with an immigration attorney before ICE detention happens. Unlike criminal arrests, where you have the right to an attorney, you do not have the right to one if ICE detains you. But you do have the right to hire one and speak with one, so you can find out any possible ways to adjust your status that you may not even know about. And it's always easier to make those decisions about your future if you know all about your options rather than waiting to try to get that information while in detention. And friends, many times it's very hard to arrange an attorney consultation from a detention center. Third, organize all your important documents and make sure your emergency contact and your family knows where they are at all times and keep them in a safe place. These are things like passports, birth certificates, marriage certificates, immigration documents, medical records, health insurance cards, school records for your children. Also, make sure if you have an attorney that they already have copies of all these documents too. Fourth, make sure your emergency contact or someone you trust has copies of your house keys, your car keys, and any other important keys. Fifth, prepare financially. Build an emergency fund and make sure your family has access to it. Even a little money set aside will be a great help to your family if you are suddenly not there, especially if your family is relying on you to survive. I've seen so many mothers who do not work with small children completely devastated and lose everything after their husband was detained. It's heartbreaking. So make a plan on how they will survive. How will they pay rent? How will they buy food? How will they put money on your phone account and commissary while you're in detention? Start to figure out these things now. Make sure they know where your credit cards, your bank cards are, and the PIN numbers to them so they can access the funds. Also, make sure they know your login and passwords to your online bank accounts and any other important accounts that you would need them to take care of for you if you are suddenly not there. And it's also a good idea to make sure that the person that would be helping you if you are detained is an authorized user on these cards, so they can use them if they need to help you. And friends, make sure not to carry all these cards with you in your wallet, because if you are detained, ICE will take your wallet away too. And if the person helping you is not a spouse, it's a good idea to get a power of attorney so they can make financial decisions for you. For example, They can sign a retainer with a lawyer for you if you don't have one, if you're in detention. And don't forget about planning for your children and your pets. Who will take care of them? It's a good idea to get a temporary guardianship for those who will take care of your children because you don't want a court to decide what happens to them. Sixth, memorize important phone numbers. Most people rely on their cell phones, but if you're in detention or detained, you will not be able to use your phone. So make sure to memorize phone numbers for your closest family members and friends, especially your immigration attorney, if you have one. And friends, if you do not have one, please get one now. Also, especially make sure your family knows how to contact your attorney too, and they know the phone number as well. Seventh, know your rights. One of the best ways to prepare is to understand your legal rights before anything happens. Get a copy of a red card, which explains your rights if ICE shows up at your home. I will post a copy of it in English and in Spanish in the post section of the page. Know that every person, regardless of immigration status, is protected under the Constitution. If ICE comes to your home, they cannot enter without your permission unless they have a judicial warrant signed by a judge. Administrative ICE warrants are different and do not authorize them to enter your home without consent. You have the right to not answer the door, and you have the right to remain silent. Or you can tell them, I do not give you permission to enter my home based on my Fourth Amendment rights under the U.S. Constitution unless you have a warrant to enter signed by a judge with my name on it that you slide under the door. Remember, you should never sign anything without an attorney. Knowing your rights can help you stay free. And lastly, pray for protection. Remember, this isn't just about evil things that the government is doing to people, separating families, but it's a battle against evil powers as well. I pray that every person watching this is protected in the Lord's loving care and that none of you are ever detained by ICE and have to go through the trauma of ICE detention and family separation. I know these conversations are hard, but please talk to your family and start planning now. I know none of us wants to imagine being separated from the people we love, but having a plan doesn't mean you will be detained by ICE or you're giving up hope. It means you're protecting yourself and your family, helping them. I've lived through this journey, and I know how overwhelming it can feel. My hope is that by sharing what I've learned, fewer families will feel lost if they ever face this type of situation. If you find this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who may need this information. Please also check out our brand new GoFundMe created to help those whose lives have been torn apart by ICE detention, and consider donating if you can. And if you have a loved one in ICE detention and have your own GoFundMe, please share it in the comments so you can get the support you need. Also, drop your name or your loved one's name in the comments as well, and we will add you to our prayer list and pray for your protection. Thank you so much for watching. The Lord bless and keep each and every one of you. See you in the next video.